Welcome to the Writing Lab with Eva Pohler. Hey writers, Eva Pohler here, USA Today best-selling author of over 45 novels, a writing professor for over 3 decades, and an editor. Today we're talking about beta readers and critique groups, what they are, why they matter, and how to use them without sabotaging your work. Let's start by defining what they are. Beta readers are volunteers who read your work and want to give you feedback, and it's usually because they enjoy getting an early sneak peek at a free work, and sometimes it's just because they like helping authors out. Critique partners, on the other hand, trade work for work. You give them your draft to read for their feedback, and in return, they give you their draft for feedback. Right away, you can probably see the difference. And you might be thinking, I think I'm just going to get a lot of beta readers, so I don't have to read a lot of work. Well, while there is an advantage to using beta readers because it doesn't require a lot of work on your part, there are definite advantages to using critique partners. They're usually more invested in giving you feedback, and they're often more skilled. So let's talk about why it's important to get feedback in the first place. When you're in love with your own sentences, when you enjoy the rhythm, the clever turns of phrases, sometimes you lose the bigger picture and don't really know, is this actually a good story? So does it make sense? Is it engaging? That's where outside eyes help. But, and this is a big but, you shouldn't just hand your draft to anyone. If you're writing dark comedy, for example, you probably don't want to ask a romance reader for feedback. They might not know what dark comedy readers want and expect. So you need readers who actually enjoy the type of story that you're writing and who are familiar with its tropes, especially if you're writing in particular genres. So don't rely on just what one person thinks. Taste is subjective. So before changing a character arc or an important plot point, get feedback from a few people. Make sure they agree. Now, you also want to make sure that you give them guidelines. Both critique partners and beta readers need to know what you're looking for. And if you don't, especially with beta readers, they turn into the grammar police and focus more on commas and semicolons than whether or not the story is actually making sense, whether or not the pacing is dragging, or if a character is relatable. So make sure you let them know, I want big picture feedback on plot, setting, point of view, character development, pacing. Let me know if the story is engaging and if it's satisfying at the end. These are the kinds of things that you want beta readers to tell you, and critique partners for the most part. Now, you might be wondering, where do I find beta readers and critique partners? Well, this is where social media can be your friend. You can post a call for readers, and it's good that you're going to get people who don't know you. You don't want to just, you can ask your family and friends, but they'll feel compelled to be supportive, and they might not give you the honest answers that you need. So I would look for people who you don't really know that well and who feel safe letting you know if things aren't working. Also, Facebook groups and forums, there often are already groups out there for authors, for aspiring writers. There are people asking, hey, who wants to be a critique partner? Go into these groups and kind of get a feel for the different personalities, and then give it a try. I had several critique partners in the early part of my writing, and they all helped shape me into the writer I am today. Now, another thing I highly recommend is, if you can afford it, hire a developmental editor. This is money well spent, in my opinion. You're going to be hiring a professional who can give you feedback on things like character, pacing, plot. And if you can't afford to have them look at the whole draft, you can just ask them to look at the first 50 pages. That's what I did, and I learned so much from that one session. I've worked with beta readers, critique partners, and editors, and I can tell you they've really helped me level up. But it takes caution and discernment to know which feedback to take and which to set aside. By the way, if you're looking for a developmental editor, I can help. I'll leave a link in the description below. Beta readers and critique partners are powerful tools. Use them wisely, choose the right people, guide the kind of feedback you want, and remember, at the end of the day, it's your story. Thanks for watching the Writing Lab. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a writer who you think might find it useful. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy writing.